What's going on, all you hopeless romantics out there? I am Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Hill, and we're back tonight. We're reviewing a romantic comedy starring Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria and Glen Powell from Top Gun Maverick. We're talking about anyone but you.
Do you have a mole or something on your butt? No. What the fuck? What might be in you? I'm good. It's probably a better way to check than what I did. It's a bad idea, right?
And I thought it was a dying genre here with rom-coms, but of course we had the film that came out last year. Everybody was talking about it. Two characters, they meet by accident, ended up spending the night together, and then they become enemies and end up going to a wedding in Australia, and where they tell everybody that they're in a relationship, but they're really not.
The plot is as thin as our hairlines. I mean, really here. So
No
yeah, there's
kidding.
not a lot going on here in this movie. It's every romantic comedy you've seen before. That's what it felt like to me. Nothing original here. But this movie does have like a fun kind of vibe to it, at least. It looks like everybody had a real good time making this film. It looked like everybody was really on vacation for a couple months in Sydney, Australia, and we're just like kind of living it up on set. That's what it appeared to me, more than it was like a good pieced together movie here. It looked like a lot of scenes of them going out into the outback, taking hikes and having fun and, swimming. Paper thin plot here, but it's really to show off the two main stars here, two up and coming actors who are having, a lot of success lately and are trying to build a name for themselves. You have Sydney Sweeney. Of course, we know her mainly from Euphoria. She was in the first season of White Lotus. Been in a lot lately. She's going to be in Madame Web. And she's the lead here. She plays Bea, and like you mentioned in the very beginning of the movie, they're in a coffee shop, and she runs into Glen Powell's character Ben, and it kind of leads to a silly situation where he's like, "Hey, she's trying to use the bathroom there," and he kind of covers for her, calls her his wife, gets the key for her. They kind of hit it off, spend the night with each other. And basically, after that happens, she comes back in to get something, I think, into the apartment, and she hears him talking to his buddy, basically blowing her off. And she never returns. So it kind of picks up with them 6 months later. B's sister and one of his friends are getting married, and it's kind of going to bring them both into this, Sydney destination wedding where they're going to have to, commingle for the weeks leading up to the wedding here. So it's really about that, and it's really about their parents, B's parents, trying to get her back with her ex, and basically they have the idea of let's put Ben and B together and make the exes jealous, kind of a thing, and hopefully be reunited and have everything live happily ever after. But by the end of the film, of course, Ben and B end up together as everybody's predicted, and there's no surprises.
That's one place I never want to visit. They have the world's deadliest animals and everything. Is Australia, sharks and snakes and spiders and crocs. I'm like, I'm good
Yeah.
on that. Looking at two really good, attractive young people that are up and coming is pretty much what I got out of it. But you could tell they had fun. There was some good comedy in the film. The supporting cast is pretty good. I had a few laughs. I thought it'd be a lot funnier, is what I'm trying to say. I thought it'd be a lot funnier. Laugh a lot more than I did. Only a few times. It's lighthearted, some rom-com. It's silly, feel good, kind of movie. Sydney Sweeney, Glen Powell are both great in this. Didn't really have as much chemistry as I would like in a movie like this. They were just kind of friends. It was not believable, like them being, involved romantically was not believable because they had no chemistry. The director was okay. He was the director that did Friends with Benefits that came out with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, another rom-com.
I agree with everything you just said. Really, had the same thoughts on it. Their chemistry wasn't there. They were made better friends. You could tell they enjoyed being with each other, but it wasn't like romantic. It didn't look like anything romantic. Really, I didn't really buy them falling in love. They played more like a really friendly pair with the relationship there. But yeah, like you mentioned, I expected more comedy from this being an R-rated film. Expected it to have an edge, but it really didn't. It had a couple funny parts here, but it wasn't as funny as I was hoping for. I did enjoy the cast. Gata there from Dave. I recognized him. He's a good actor. I like him. Dermot Mulroney show up as the dad. Always fun to see him, even though he kind of plays the same guy and everything. I haven't really seen him play a different role here, but you know, it works for him now. He can play the dad now. So always nice to see him. He's been around for a long time. You had this character who shares the name of a fella I know, a character named Bo. Played by Joe Davidson, this Australian guy there. He was kind of funny. He'd always be doing something, you know, that he shouldn't have been doing, something inappropriate, making the dick joke, or just getting naked with Glen Powell for no apparent reason other than to show off their bodies and how ripped they were, their physiques and stuff. Speaking of Glen Powell, I like the guy. He's just a likable guy. He just needs the right project, and this didn't showcase much of what he can do other than, and he's just a charming, likable guy for the most part. He does have a movie coming out on Netflix this year, Hitman, that's gained a lot of attention and is supposed to be like his breakout role. So I'm really interested to see that one in particular. This one wasn't bad. It's just, you know, the movie and the story and everything didn't really showcase what he can do other than that, you know, physique he's got there.
There wasn't a lot of substance. He didn't have a lot to work with. Neither of them did. I think that's a lot of the writing, but you know, they had fun doing it. But this is not going to showcase their acting chops. This is just, you know, run of the mill, you know, rom-com kind of movie. And it's enjoyable if you're in that type of movie, and it's a one-time watch, but a movie I definitely won't revisit. So that being said, I'm going to give Anyone But You, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 Sydney Sweeney hair pieces.
For all the reasons we just said, there isn't much going on with this movie. I'm not going to revisit any time soon. Can't really recommend it other than if you don't have anything else going on and you just want something to have on in the background and not really pay attention too much, you know. Anyone But You's for you, but otherwise, yeah, not much here. I'm going to give it a little higher score than you, but not much. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 Sydney hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you models out there. What did you like about Anyone But You? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these Wild Rascals on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
You know what I was just thinking? This movie, in order to be a little bit better, it could have used someone in particular. Do you know who I'm thinking of?
Uncle Steve?
Paul Hogan. Crocodile Dundee himself.
Yeah,
he should have showed up. That would have been cool.
Although
Maybe
Crocodile-
Danny McBride show up there for no apparent reason. Maybe all our Australian friends, Joel Edgerton. So we want to thank you guys for watching our review of Anyone But You, the new rom-com starring the Dreamboats, Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney. We'll be back very soon with another Cinephellas movie review. So until the next time, I'm Uncle Henry Powell.
I'm Uncle Logan Sweeney signing out until the next movie review. Cheers!
Cheers.